With so many big releases stealing the spotlight, some incredible games fly under the radar. But today I'll tell you about 10 recent underrated games that you probably missed but absolutely shouldn't have. These hidden gems deserve your attention, and who knows, you might just find your next favorite game. Let's get started. Mortal Shell is a brutal action RPG inspired by Dark Souls, but with a brilliant twist. Instead of a custom character, you inhabit fallen warriors called shells, each with unique abilities. The combat is slow, strategic, and punishing, with a unique hardened mechanic that lets you turn to stone mid-attack for tactical counters. Despite its gorgeous atmosphere and deep lore, it got overshadowed by bigger Souls-like releases like Elden Ring. But if you love a challenging dark fantasy world, Mortal Shell is a must-play. Imagine Doom, but with a musical twist. That's Metal Hellsinger. This rhythm-based FPS lets you shoot, reload, and slash to the beat of heavy metal tracks featuring legends like Serge Tankian, System of a Down, and Alyssa Whiteglue's arch enemy. The more in sync you are, the more powerful you become. Despite rave reviews, it never hit the mainstream, likely because rhythm shooters are still a niche genre. But if you love metal, FPS combat, and a hellish adrenaline rush, this one's for you. A massive open-world RPG blending post-apocalyptic survival, fantasy, and sci-fi, Elex 2 lets you explore a beautifully crafted world with jetpacks, meaningful choices, and engaging faction-based storytelling. Developed by Piranha Bytes, known for the Gothic series, it's a deep and ambitious game, though its janky animations and lack of marketing meant it never reached a broad audience. If you love hardcore RPGs with true player choice, don't sleep on Elex 2. If you enjoy narrative-driven adventure games, Roki is an underrated masterpiece. Inspired by Scandinavian folklore, it follows a young girl exploring a stunningly crafted world filled with mystical creatures, clever puzzles, and emotional storytelling. With a storybook-like art style and a deep, heartfelt narrative about family, loss, and courage, Roki deserves way more attention. Despite critical acclaim, it flew under the radar, probably because puzzle-driven indie games don't always get mainstream love. But if you want a relaxing yet thought-provoking experience, Roki is an absolute gem. Bringing back the classic survival horror vibes of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, Tormented Souls is a fixed-camera, puzzle-heavy horror game with a creepy mansion, terrifying enemies, and limited resources. Every moment is tense, and the cryptic puzzles will challenge even the most seasoned horror fans. It's one of the best modern horror games, yet got overlooked because the genre is now dominated by first-person horror experiences like Resident Evil 7. But if you miss the golden age of survival horror, this game is exactly what you need. The Oddworld series has been around since the 90s, but Oddworld Soulstorm takes it to a whole new level. This cinematic 2.5D platformer follows Abe, the reluctant hero, as he leads his people to freedom in a beautifully detailed world. With deep puzzles, stealth mechanics, and an emotional story, Soulstorm brings back the challenging gameplay of classic Oddworld games while introducing modern mechanics and visuals. Sadly, it never got the recognition it deserved, likely overshadowed by bigger platformers. But if you're into challenging puzzle platformers with a unique setting, this is a must-play. Horror fans, this one's for you. The Medium is a third-person psychological horror game with a fascinating dual reality mechanic where you explore two worlds simultaneously, the real world and the spirit realm. Inspired by Silent Hill, it delivers asterisk eerie atmosphere, deep storytelling, and a chilling soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka. Despite being an ambitious and unique horror game, it got mixed reviews, mainly due to its slow-paced gameplay. But if you love atmospheric horror with mind-bending mechanics, don't let this one slip past you.
Hi there.
Oh, hi. You startled me.
I did, didn't I? You look real scared.
Released in 2024, the Thaumaturge is an isometric RPG set in early 20th century Poland, blending historical fiction with supernatural horror. You play as a Thaumaturge, a wielder of mysterious otherworldly entities, using them to manipulate people and influence events. With turn-based combat, rich storytelling, and a hauntingly beautiful world, it offers a deep, thought-provoking experience unlike anything else. It didn't make waves upon release, probably because it's not a mainstream RPG, but if you're looking for something fresh and unique, this is worth checking out. If you enjoy narrative-driven games like Life is Strange, as Dusk Falls is an interactive drama with a crime thriller story that unfolds based on your choices. The game features a unique graphic novel art style where every decision can lead to drastically different outcomes. Following two families caught in a decades-long conflict, it's a gripping and emotional experience. Despite high praise for its storytelling, it never reached mainstream success, likely because interactive story games aren't for everyone. But if you love deep narratives with tough choices, this one is a hidden masterpiece.
We ought to fuck this place up a little while we're at it.
Tyler said we only have an hour. Maybe we should start.
Unlike typical Marvel action games, Midnight Suns is a tactical RPG from the creators of XCOM. It mixes turn-based strategy with deck-building mechanics, letting you fight alongside Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, and more. The game's deep combat system and strong character-driven story make it stand out, but it struggled due to bad marketing and players expecting a more action-packed experience. However, if you enjoy strategy RPGs with deep customization, this is one of the best superhero games you'll ever play.
Shifting mystical polarities are wreaking havoc on my portals.
You don't say. You okay, kid?
Yes. Are you?
Risk of Rain 2 takes the fast-paced, roguelike action of the original and throws it into a stunning 3D world filled with chaotic combat, randomized loot, and intense co-op fun. Each run feels unique as you unlock new characters, insane power-ups, and take on massive enemies. Despite being an addictively fun shooter, it never reached mainstream popularity, likely due to its roguelike nature and indie roots. But if you love action-packed games that reward skill and strategy, Risk of Rain 2 is an absolute must-play, especially with friends. From the creators of Vampire and Life is Strange, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden is a narrative-driven action RPG that follows two ghost hunters, torn between love and duty. You'll fight spirits, make devastating choices, and uncover a deeply emotional story in a beautifully crafted world. Despite its stunning visuals and engaging combat, it didn't get the attention it deserved, likely overshadowed by bigger 2024 RPG releases. But if you're into supernatural storytelling with tough moral dilemmas, this one is an underrated masterpiece.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Imagine a mix of Ghost of Tsushima and Assassin's Creed, and you get Rise of the Ronin. This open-world samurai RPG lets you explore 19th century Japan, choosing your own path in a world of war, politics, and betrayal. With deep combat mechanics, multiple endings, and player-driven choices, it's a historical RPG lover's dream. However, it didn't make as much noise as Ghost of Tsushima, possibly due to a lack of major marketing and tough competition. But if you love samurai-era action games, Rise of the Ronin deserves a spot on your playlist.
That felt amazing!
Based on the terrifying A Quiet Place movies, this stealth horror adventure puts you in a world where making even the slightest noise can mean instant death. With tense survival mechanics, heart-pounding moments, and immersive storytelling, this game captures the dread and desperation of the films perfectly. Unfortunately, like many movie-based games, it was overlooked, but that doesn't mean it's not worth playing. If you love nerve-wracking stealth horror and atmospheric survival, this game will keep you on edge from start to finish. Nine Souls blends Sekiro-style parrying with a Metroidvania world, set in a cyberpunk-inspired dark fantasy universe. You play as a vengeful warrior battling through beautifully hand-drawn landscapes filled with deadly enemies and deep lore. With its fluid combat and mysterious narrative, it's a unique take on the action platformer genre. Unfortunately, it hasn't gained widespread attention, likely because it's an indie title in a crowded market. But if you're looking for challenging, fast-paced combat with an incredible world, Nine Souls is a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. The original Alone in the Dark is considered one of the grandfathers of survival horror, and this 2024 remake brings it back with a cinematic psychological horror twist. Starring David Harbour and Jodie Comer, the game delivers an eerie, atmospheric journey through a haunted mansion filled with mind-bending puzzles, terrifying creatures, and deep psychological horror. Unfortunately, it got buried under big horror game releases like Silent Hill 2 Remake, but it's still a fantastic experience, especially if you enjoy story-driven horror with classic survival elements. Inspired by Nordic folklore, Bramble, the Mountain King is a beautiful yet haunting adventure platformer that follows a young boy searching for his kidnapped sister. But this isn't your typical fairy tale. Bramble throws you into a world of twisted creatures, terrifying giants, and eerie landscapes, making it feel like Little Nightmares meets Scandinavian mythology. Despite its stunning visuals and emotionally gripping story, it didn't gain the recognition it deserved, likely due to its niche indie appeal. But if you love dark fairy tales with deep storytelling, this one's a must-play. Jusant is a one-of-a-kind platformer that focuses entirely on scaling a massive tower, using realistic climbing mechanics and environmental storytelling. There's no combat, just pure exploration, puzzles, and breathtaking visuals that make every climb feel rewarding. It's a relaxing yet immersive experience, offering a sense of solitude and wonder rarely found in games. Unfortunately, it flew under the radar, possibly because it doesn't follow traditional gaming formulas. But if you love games that offer peace, reflection, and unique mechanics, Jusant is an unforgettable journey. From the creators of My Time at Portia, Ever Forward is a stunning puzzle platformer set in a mysterious dream world. You play as a young girl lost between reality and imagination, solving environmental puzzles that slowly reveal a touching emotional story. With its gorgeous art direction and clever puzzle design, it offers an experience similar to Portal or The Witness. Unfortunately, it never got the mainstream attention it deserved, likely overshadowed by bigger puzzle-based games. But if you're a fan of thought-provoking narratives and atmospheric puzzle solving, this game is a hidden masterpiece. Developed by Platinum Games, Astral Chain is a high-energy, futuristic action RPG where you control two characters at once, commanding a powerful combat partner called a Legion to fight alongside you. The game features fast-paced combat, detective-style investigations, and a stunning cyberpunk world, making it one of the most unique action games in recent years. Sadly, since it was a Nintendo Switch exclusive, it didn't get the massive audience it deserved. But if you own a Switch and love games like Bayonetta or Nier Automata, Astral Chain is an underrated gem you need to experience. And that's it. 20 incredible underrated games that deserve way more love. If you made it this far, I want to know, which game stood out to you the most? Have you played any of these, or do you have your own underrated favorites? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this list, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future gaming content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.